Hi everyone, welcome to my channel TCU for Olympiads and JEE. Today I am back with a new series with the name Theory Required for One Question Series of Maths. And this is the first video of this series. This is 01. So, in this we will discuss some theory portions required for our one question series to continue. This is the today's page which we will discuss for today. It is told what are natural numbers. First we need to know what are natural numbers. The numbers 1, 2, 3 which are used in counting are called natural numbers or positive integers. Natural numbers start from 1 and from 1 every integers greater than 1, all integers greater than 1, all integers greater than 1 can be called as a natural number. Greater than or equals to 1, sorry, greater than or equals 1 is a natural number. Okay, now basic properties of these natural numbers. What are the basic properties? In the system of natural numbers we have two operations, addition and multiplication, with the following properties. Addition and multiplication follow a few properties. These are properties are not followed by subtraction and division. These are commutative law, associative law for multiplication as well. This is the existence of multiplicative identity. Means if we multiply a number with 1, the same number comes. Multiplicative identity is a number which if multiplied with a number gives that number itself, and the distributive law is something like this. X minus y is a natural number, that is the product of two natural numbers is a natural number. X into y, sorry I have not written, this is x into y. And this also follows for addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, everything. No, sorry, not for division. It is followed by addition, subtraction, multiplication. Sum of two natural numbers is always a natural number. Yeah, sum of two natural numbers is always a natural number, but the subtraction of two natural numbers is not always a natural number. I am mistaken here. Sum of two natural numbers is always a natural number, is for sure. And so, yeah, that is here. I'm just overlooked it. Okay. So these are only for addition and multiplication. Everything is only for addition and multiplication. Now moving on to divisibility of integers. An integer x not equals to 0 divides y if there exists an integer a such that y equals to x. Thus we can write x divides y, or x is a factor of y, or x is a divisor of y. We can call it by any name. And if x does not divide y, we write x does not divide y, like this. So 2 is a factor of 4, 3 is not a factor of 4, like this. This can also be stated as y is divisible by x, or x is a factor divisor of x, or y is a multiplier of x, or we can another write x is a factor of y. Many names are there for this thing. Now these are the properties of divisibility. If x is a factor of y, y is a factor of z, then x is a factor of z. How? Since x is a factor of y, y can be written as a sum x multiplied by a. Since y is a factor of z, z can be written as y multiplied by some integer b, which is equals to a multiplied by some integer a into some integer b, which is an integer only. So this can be written as x into some p. So we can write x is a factor of z. Now this is given x is a factor of z and x is a factor of z and x is a factor of y. So x is a factor of ky plus minus lz, where k comma l belongs to integers. This also has a proof. Okay, in order to prove this, we can write y equals to x multiplied by some integer a, z equals to x multiplied by some integer b. Now ky is equals to kax and lz equals to lbx, and kx plus minus lz equals to ka plus minus lb, which is an integer in any means, multiplied by x. This implies multiplied by x multiplied by, yeah, wait a minute, we have multiplied by x. Yeah, now x can be written as factor of kx by, yeah, here kx can be written as factor of this kx plus minus lz, ky. Okay, I've, that's why confused, it must be ky. Now see the next thing. It is given x a factor of y and y is a factor of x. This implies x equals to plus minus y. We can do it as x equals to y equals to a multiplied by x equals to b multiplied by y, or since both of these are integers, this can be written as abx. X cancels, ab is equals to 1. Since a and b are integers, either a equals to 1 and b equals to 1, or a equals to minus 1 and b equals to minus 1. So we can write it as x equals to plus minus y. Now the next property is x a factor of y, where x is greater than 0, y is greater than 0. This implies x is less than equals to y. Yeah, this is just common sense. Something is a factor of the other thing, so that factor must be always less than or equals to that number. This is a common sense, CS common sense. Now x is a factor of y, x is a factor of yz for any integer z. I am solving it here. 5 is solved here. 5y equals, you can be written as some multiplied by a multiplied by x. Now yz can be written as some az multiplied by x. So x is a factor of yz, as proved. Now the sixth property. It's written x is a factor of y if and only if nx is a factor of ny, where n not equals to 0. Yeah. Y equals to a multiplied by x. Now ny equals to a multiplied by nx. This simply means nx is a factor of ny. If nx is not a factor of ny, for n is not a factor of ny, then this can't be true. I hope you can understand this thing, that if these are if and only if symbols, means if this is not true, if nx is not a factor of ny, then how can y be equals to ax? This is a both sides implies. So this is also proved, and with this we have come to an end of this video. With this note of thanks, I am going to end the video here. Thank you so very much for watching the video till the end.